Hello and welcome to Why Am I Doing This to Myself? Has this fandom not caused me enough pain? Or as I like to call it, building the barricade. So this is kind of like installment 2 of my little Barricade Day 3-parter. My Sims Barricade Day videos. I'm rambling, I'm sorry. It's 10:30 p.m. and I have to work tomorrow, but I wanted to get this done and yeah, just kind of tell you about it, walk you through. If you don't want to listen to me and just, look at this, that's fine. At around the 15-minute mark, I will jump into game and just show you in a bit more detail what I did for a couple of minutes. I haven't filmed that one yet, so I can't tell you how long that will take, but I'm guessing maybe 10 minutes, hopefully. But yeah, so if you want to skip the building part and go to the in-game part, roughly 15 minutes. So I used these sets from Get Famous to create a city around the Café Moussin, just to kind of help me build the barricade a bit, so that I wouldn't have to build a structure out of nothing on more than one side, which I thought was clever of me. I'm not sure, but I've tried this before a couple of years ago, and I got very annoyed because there's just a lot of raising things up, objecting things. No, I really enjoyed it this time. And I wanted the Café Moussin to have 3 floors. So one floor to be sort of the cafe part. The second floor to be the back room where les amis meet. And the third floor is kind of going to be a sort of... Well, it has a bed in it and stuff like that. Because I figured whoever's running the cafe might just allow people to sleep there. Maybe some of les amis sleep there. You will see that it is very sparsely furnished, because obviously they needed all the furniture for the barricade. And I'm not going to try and replicate Frothy's funny little Irish accent. You know what I'm getting at. But yes, so you can see me putting in the bed. It's also because I want to do a roughly half an hour-ish gameplay afterwards for kind of the 3rd installment, which is why I wanted them to have a bed, just so they can have a place to sleep. Not that they wouldn't need to do that, they can also sleep on the floor, but only if they pass out. But that's also why I gave them a bathroom, just because otherwise they would be miserable, and it's really hard to play with Sims which are miserable. Not that they are going to be happy, because it's les amis. But yes, so I just gave them a bathroom, and the thing you saw me put downstairs, it is from Discover University, from the cafeteria, and they can order food there. So I'm hoping this also works if it's not a community lot, but a private lot or a residential lot. I haven't tried that out yet, so we will see that when we go into the game in 15 minutes time. Well, 12 minutes now ish. I'm hoping it works. I also put a bar down there later on, because I figured, it's a cafe, it kind of needs a bar. I don't know. Yeah, I tried to make it feel like people would actually use the space, and not like it was just a thing I built out of thin air for the purpose of building a barricade, because that was the whole thing. I wanted to build the barricade so that I could play with it a little bit. We will see how well that goes. I have a plan for that. I'm not sure how happy it will end, but I guess we're used to it. Yeah, so I used these walls just kind of as again, just to help me build the barricade, help me build a structure. They're just supposed to represent houses, which is why they're getting windows and stuff. So I quite liked it. It was like building townhouses, but without building townhouses. But yeah, now we can actually start building the barricade out of tables and chairs and a piano and everything else I could find and move object in there. For everyone who's not familiar with Sims, move object is a cheat with which you can move objects basically any way you want. Not every object, but most of them. So I try to keep it a bit period accurate. Also, these crates are huge. Whenever I pull them out, I'm like, they are gigantic. When would I use them ever in my life? If not for this. And even then they were too big. You know, judging on the scale of The Sims, the height of The Sims. Though it's really tricky to judge heights in The Sims, I think. I find it really, really tricky. Because everything has just weird heights, as you saw with the crates. Anyway, so I tried to keep it period accurate. I know I definitely didn't do it. It's not possible in The Sims, obviously. I try to, you know, stick to kind of wooden things and wooden tones, mostly. So that kind of worked out. Try to build the barricade, blocked that one guy's door, but I guess, you know, fine. I didn't really care because no one's living there. Also, the people didn't come to help anyway, so they can live with a blocked door. Well. Anyway, my ice cream is melting. Yes, I have ice cream at like 10:30. But that's fine. I'm an adult. I can do that. Anyway, so there's just a lot of moving things up and down, trying to make them not float, trying to make it look coherent in the sense that everything should look as if someone placed it there, which is also not necessarily all that possible given that I can't tilt objects. I can only rotate them and move them up and down, but I can't put anything on its side or something like that. So that kind of, you know, puts a hold to the whole realism thing. Not that any of this is realistic at all. Like the movie sets, not 1830s Paris at all. But, I mean, you know, I don't really care much, and I'm pretty sure you don't really care much either. I'm curious to see if anyone chooses to download this, how many objects vanish. Obviously depending on what sort of game packs you have. Well, if you do that, let me know. You can find my Origin handle in the description below. And then you can just download it from there. It will probably be called The Barricades, just because I'm that original with naming things. But yeah, so you will see me put a lot of like crates and barrels down because they just worked so well, and I figured it would make sense that they'd be there. I also put a lot of chairs down because I figured, you know, that's the thing they have. Chairs, crates, barrels, and tables. But there's a surprising amount of very large, like coffee tables you would put in between your sofas. And they're always too large for me to use in-game. So I was kind of happy that I could make use of them there. I actually used quite a lot of objects I never use because they don't fit the style of the house I'm building. So it was kind of fun to sort of pull out objects I don't use very often or I never use. Yeah, I just liked that. It was fun. And I kind of enjoyed building this. Even though I got sometimes very annoyed because things wanted to snap to things where I didn't want them to snap to. And that was a bit annoying. But that's just the thing you always have when you use move objects. There's this, with The Sims, there's just so many wood tones which do not go together which kind of worked in my favor this time, but it's usually working against me. And as you can see, I'm trying to build height. Later on, I'm actually using Barricade as kind of like a measurement. I'm making him move to see if things are high enough or if they should be higher. Just because I wanted it to be at least somewhat realistic as it can be, which also means I try to not intersect things as much, and I hope nothing is floating too badly. Yeah. I also decided to paint the ground with cobblestone because it would not make sense for a barricade in the middle of Paris to be set on grass. So that's why there's cobblestone. I also filmed this a bit later because I looked at the footage and was like, somehow this doesn't feel intimate enough. And my friend was like, put in plants. When in doubt, put in plants, because that's what we always say in Sims. When in doubt, put in plants or rocks. No one in real life has as many rocks as you have in The Sims. I also put a lot of mirrors, because mirrors in Les Miserables, kind of, they're very, very important for self-discovery of Fantine, Eponine and Cosette. So I put them there to just, I don't know, kind of as my own inside joke with myself. I also wanted there to be a flag, so I looked through all the curtains they have and tried to figure out if I could use anything as a flag somehow. And the little flag I'm raising up on the barricade, I will actually put a frame around it so that it isn't just kind of, you know, levitating on the table. But I'm kind of happy with how the flags turned out. It gives it a bit more realism, in my opinion, and I kind of like that. As much realism as you can get, of course. And I tried to use these flags, but they just didn't come in any fun colors. I also went through and kind of detailed it a bit more to make it feel more lived in, because in theory this is a place that up until this day has been in frequent use. There have been patrons drinking, people gambling, you know, people chatting, meeting, preparing, making bullets, you know, cleaning rifles and whatnot. So I kind of just dotted a couple of books here and there, these like weird cotton swap things from Pets and Dogs, yes, yeah, Cats and Dogs, which I always like using as something else, you know, just use your imagination. Whatever you want to be, that's what it can be. Whatever you want it to be. Pia. Just because, you know, I wanted to make it feel a bit more intimate, so that it actually felt like a building and not just like a shell. I also put this table outside because I wanted to put a long table inside, because I figured they need to put a place to put their wounded, and they can't put them on like the tiny tables, so I put the long table in. Just, you know, a couple of books and a couple of cobwebs and cracks to make it feel like it is actually an old house and not just a new house that is built to look old. Obviously it is still, you know, built to look old. But yes, I kind of liked it, just dotting it around a bit. I also realized that I had forgotten to put a window there. But yeah, we're nearly ready to jump into the game now. You will see me put a couple more details. There's going to be flowers upstairs. You know, you can just imagine Jean kind of wanting to spice up everything, putting flowers. The easel, of course, belonging to Conter. The kind of card table, you know, where you can play poker or blackjack or whatever. But yeah, we're jumping into game fairly soon. So I will leave you with the music for a little while. yeah, that's where I took Barricade and figured out the height of things and figured that I need to put more things on top to make it look taller. But yes, so I will see you in game. Welcome to in-game. It is snowing, even though it is, well, it is the first day of spring, so I think it is fair that it's snowing. But I'm just going to give you a bit of an overview over everything, as I said in the voiceover. So, here's the Barricade, here's the boys, and non-binary people. And Barricade apparently is still standing there playing on his phone. Anyway, so the Barricade in all its gloriousness. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff on here. A lot of end tables, side tables, chairs. Ooh. We're jumping. There we go. There's, I think, wardrobes, chests, decorations, mirrors, and whatnot. So a lot of stuff. A flag, of course. So as you can see, a lot of stuff. I'm not even sure if they can get in here, to be honest, without me having to teleport them. I don't think they can. Anyway, that's not the purpose of this. The purpose is to just show you around a bit. So, this is just the lower floor of the cafe. We have flower pots on the outside, windows with shutters, some cracks, whatnot. And on the inside, as I said before, there's this cafeteria thing. Oh, we can hire a vendor. Okay, so that's how we get food when we live here. And you can tend the bar as well. So there's that. Ondra has acquired the comedy skill. Well, that's great. We just have, you know, a couple of places to sit. I try to keep it to candles, just for the sake of, you know, fake time area correctness, I suppose. Here's a little storage room, which is fairly emptied out because everything else is on the barricades. And through this door we can go upstairs. When we go upstairs, we arrive on the second floor, or well, first floor, depending on which country you're from. And here we just have a couple of books, tables, chairs, knives. Don't ask me why, just because they looked good. A couple of crates again. Just, you know, your standard room to meet friends and plan a barricade, I suppose. And on the upper level, as I said, there's a bit of a living space. People can sleep here, or at least 2 people can sleep here. They can use the toilet, use the shower. Oh, Ondra also acquired the charisma skill. Nice. Yeah, and that's basically the barricade for you. Or at least the barricade in a weird, semi-modern reinterpretation. In the snow. Even though it might not have snowed in June. But we don't know. We don't know. There's a cyclist. Hello. Anyway, so this has been building the barricade. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you would change anything. Let me know if you download it. You can download it on Origin. Under my OriginID, which is PiaPlace91. And that's it for this video, so Thank you for watching. Stay safe, make good choices, and goodbye.